If you were in the gaming scene in 2016, you will have been wrapped in the phenomenon of what was considered at the time as one of the best hero shooters ever made, with such fun and interesting characters that would be remembered for years to come. And of course, the game that I am talking about is Paladins. Come on, how could you not love iconic characters like Grover?
I am Groot!
And a dwarven character named Barrack, who's an engineer. Oh, and also Overwatch came out that year too, I guess. Overwatch is a game that released in some formative years in my life, when I was really starting to get into video games on my PlayStation 4, especially competitive multiplayer games. But when Overwatch came out, made by the company that created some of the greatest video games of the past 10 years at the time, it caught the internet by storm. Everyone was making YouTube videos about it and the lore, people were streaming the game like mad, and the esports for the game quickly captured the initial hype of the game's release. Everything about the initial year of the game's life was like lightning in a bottle, and I believe it was well deserved. With such a fun and unique cast of characters, on top of having an already super pretty to look at art direction, I think that Overwatch at that time was really something special. Some people like the characters a little too much, but that's to be expected of the internet.
Ana.
Ana.
Pass. Pass.
What's his name? Alright, what's
May.
her name?
Okay.
Why'd she look like that?
Mercy. Ash.
Yeah, pretty
Bridget.
good so far.
Widowmaker. Widowmaker.
Of course.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
look at her.
Okay.
Tracer.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Diva.
You're on fire.
It can't be stopped.
Pass. I don't know. I don't know. Fuck. Go. Pass.
I was so addicted to Overwatch that I put in about 500 hours in total, and it was a total blast. Grinding competitive was fun, playing with friends was seamless, and the variety the game offered was fresh. The hype of the game even got to the point that it won Game of the Year in 2016, which is absolutely insane looking back on it. However, in the years following Overwatch's release, there was a gradual dip in the quality of the game that would only continue. It started off subtle, like with there being loot boxes in the game that essentially popularized them in the video game industry. Then they introduced role queue, which quickly killed different kinds of team variety and compositions by locking every single team into a 2 support, 2 tank, and 2 DPS format. Then content for the game started getting outputted really slow. But don't worry, our fears would be silenced as a major announcement arrived. Overwatch 2. A fully new sequel that was going to erase the original game completely, making it unplayable, but in its place we would get this new game that would continue the legacy with the new changes and the brand new PvE content that would completely revolutionize the gameplay with skill trees and endlessly replayable missions.
So that was a fucking lie.
Yeah, Overwatch 2 kinda sucked. One of the biggest selling points of the game, the fact that it has an entirely new PvE mode, got cancelled years after Overwatch 2 launched. So what we were left with was a version of Overwatch with even slower progression to try and get you to spend money, a system where you have to pay so much more for cool skins, and literally the exact same gameplay with a few tweaks. And put all of that into the context of it coming out that Blizzard employees have done some extremely freaky shit in the last couple of years, and fans were pissed. And that is the state that Overwatch 2 has been left in for a while now, with some new heroes launching occasionally to spice up the gameplay a little, but the game has been stagnating and creatively bankrupt. Fans that wanted better from Overwatch 2 didn't exactly have a ton of options to go back to, except Team Fortress 2, but that option isn't exactly viable since there are bot snipers in every single game. So a lot of players want better hero shooters to play, but find themselves stuck. But let's switch gears for a moment. Marvel Rivals is a game that was fully released in December of 2024, and I honestly had no hype for this game when it was initially announced and when the beta came out. Marvel Rivals is a 6v6 hero shooter with DPS, support, and tank roles very similar to Overwatch. I had heard good things about it from YouTubers I enjoy watching, but nothing really motivated me to play it at first. I was also really skeptical of the game because it was developed by NetEase, which is a Chinese company known for making cheap cash grab mobile games or video games that launch for a few months, then get shut down soon afterwards. This didn't exactly inspire confidence in me in the weeks and months leading up to the game's full launch. However, when the game fully released, it was impossible to ignore. So I finally downloaded the game as it's free to play and... Marvel Rivals scratches that part of my brain that adored Overwatch's initial launch back in 2016. There are so many playable characters in the game, all of which are free and not behind paywalls. Because of this, the competitive scene of the game is truly allowed to flourish, as counterpicks are so easy to pull off. The art style of the game is incredible and feels like a comic book come to life. They even have what Overwatch did with really popular designs.
Silent. Damn.
Rivals feels so therapeutic for someone who has been abused by Overwatch and Blizzard for so many years. The game feels so much less restrictive, with no role queue, which actually makes the gameplay feel fresh, and you can have a variety of team comps and not just be locked to the same one every time. Because of this, the community is allowed to experiment and do whatever strategy they want to. Some abilities alone change the game, like Doctor Strange's portal ability, which has the power to brick people's PCs. Destructible environments in the game also creates all kinds of unique terrain for duels and even creating new flank points at times. One of the gameplay mechanics that is unique to Rivals is the ability to have team-up abilities with your teammates, which gives the characters involved boosts or new abilities to use for that match. For example, if you have Hela and a Thor or Loki, Hela is able to revive either of the two from death if she gets the final hit on an enemy, or if they are alive, give them some extra health. Another example is that if you have Wolverine and Hulk is able to throw Wolverine to pick off characters from the backline. Finally, if you have an Iron Fist and a Spider-Man, their special ability is to jerk off in the corner together and be useless on your team the whole game. Having characters being able to interact like this adds so much variety to the gameplay and keeps matches from feeling repetitive, which became a common issue in Overwatch. And as for the characters in this game, they assembled the Avengers of voice actors. Take a look at this cast list. They have Johnny Test's dad as Mr. Fantastic, Kenzo Tenma as Doctor Strange, Obi-Wan Kenobi as Magneto, Colonel Mustang as Thor, Fuka from Persona 3 as Invisible Woman, Haru from Persona 5 as Cloak and Dagger, Yosuke from Persona 4 as Spider-Man, Morgana from Persona 5 as the Announcer, Spike Spiegel as Wolverine and Venom, the pedophile from The Last of Us as Rocket, the golfer from The Last of Us as Black Widow, and the golf ball from The Last of Us as Loki. That kind of voice talent in one game is insane, and I give major props to the developers for assembling these people in one game. And these voice actors go all in with such fun ultimate lines and dialogue lines before a match.
Armed and again! Oh, aren't you just the cutest?
Get ready.
Jesus Christ.
And since the game is a small universe called Marvel and all of its comic books, there are so many stories to pull from with thousands of characters to add to the game. Because of that, there are so many amazing theories and fan concepts for characters for the game that makes the community feel alive.
I'm good to go.
And the community for this game showed up, let me tell you. As of the recording for this video, in the last 24 hours, there has been a player peak of 410,000 players, and that is absolutely insane. This makes getting into matches almost instant, as there are so many players to choose from, so there's almost no downtime. Competitive for Rivals actually feels fun to play and has engaged me in a competitive mode in a way that I haven't had for years. Climbing the ranks actually feels fun and achievable. I love the mechanic of the Chrono Shield to prevent a severe amount of SR drop after a series of losses. Speaking of competitive, the game's actually pretty well balanced, with there being counterpicks to pretty much every hero in the game. There needs to be some tweaks here and there though, such as the hitboxes with Hawkeye, and the duration of Luna Snow's ult. And honestly guys, at this point, the internet is right. Overwatch 2 is doing a better job advertising Marvel Rivals than Marvel Rivals is.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass.
And for the first time in a long time, Overwatch is losing a lot of its dedicated players because there's an actual good competition in the hero shooter genre now. Competition in the genre raises the bar and actually forces other companies to do better. And thankfully, since Marvel Rivals raised the bar, it also runs a really good live service model that doesn't squeeze players of all their hard-earned money. I've almost put 100 hours into the game and I haven't spent a penny. And it's great. But at the end of the day, Marvel Rivals in its current state is pure magic for me, as it does everything it needs to as an engaging hero shooter. And by keeping player goodwill and continuously releasing updates, I think the game could continue to be something really special. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. It's a little on the shorter side, but life's workload has gotten a little more intense, and I've just been playing a crap ton of Rivals, so I thought I would put out a video talking about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.